Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look here at Mana, Decentraland, see what's going on. I've got a tremendous amount of requests here recently, trying to identify if it's broken out of its trend, and I'll explain what I mean by that here in a moment. But generally speaking, it does look like it's broken its descending type of trend, and we'll go ahead and take it from there and kind of see what that means for us. So, if you are new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor, just know that I love teaching people to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. My goal is to help you become a better, more effective trader. So obviously if you can achieve that, that'd be fantastic. My job is done. I've helped a lot of folks become self-sufficient over the years, but more importantly with my trading academy, community, and signal group, you can learn pretty much everything you need to. So check that out in your own time. CryptoCache.tech is the website, link in the description below. I do offer discounts as well for military and third world countries. So taking a look here, of course, we can kind of see a few things. So when it comes to Mana, let's go ahead and do a big picture here. First of all, daily. And on the daily, we can kind of see here, first of all, we've got this descending type of trend. It's working its way down, and we've recently broken above that. Okay, so the last 24 to 48 hours have been a closure essentially above that descending trend. Now, Bitcoin is testing a very similar level right now, and if it breaks above and closes above soundly, then we should be able to be in pretty good shape. But the key takeaway here is that these moving averages are running concurrent with these trend lines, and we can kind of see here that we're above some key level supports, or previous resistances, however you want to call it. So the bottom line is we've broken above this descending trend, and for lack of better terms, Mana is either in a range and or ascending type of trend. You could argue that it's an ascending trend, but this is a short amount of data. It's truly not an ascending trend until we break above the most recent high, which I believe is, what is it, right here? We'd want to break above $1.33, or at the very least, 109 to effectively give us that confirmation. Okay, so we're not there yet. We want to be above, I would say at the very least 103 to be able to feel a little more comfortable in this continuation pattern. Continuation is very short, sorry, and ultimately something to recognize and just note that we're not quite there yet. And to me, I like to teach confirmation and to be patient and to wait as a trader. Obviously, you can get in right now, but the price could come back down if Bitcoin corrects itself at 23,000. Okay, so again, there's a lot of things to factor in, but make sure that you become a Bitcoin professional if you're going to be trading altcoins, right? Because it is fairly self-sufficient, but they tie together very well. And a lot of when you're looking at altcoins, the best thing to do is try to identify coins that are separating themselves from Bitcoin. Mana is fairly synonymous with Bitcoin in a lot of ways, at least in the last couple of weeks of trading. That being said, until we see a strong break above key level resistance, just say the most recent 103 or 109, just say 110 is a round number, then we don't really have full-on confirmation we're in an ascending trend yet. Okay, so in other words, we could be range bound between 78 and 110 or 78 and 103. All right, so again, that's where waiting for confirmation I think is beneficial. Positive thing though here is we're back up over 70 in the RSI, or sorry, 50 rather. We did cross above 50 here previously on its first push back in June, but haven't been above ever since. So in essence, that's a positive sign here. It definitely helps. We've also got a recent MACD convergence that is still converging, so to speak, concurrent once again with a lot of Bitcoin's behavior right now. So just bear in mind, Mana, while it's all well and good that it's increasing, it's doing so also in a lot of ways similar to Bitcoin. All right. So in fact, why don't we go ahead and take a quick look here, just so you can kind of see the correlation. Does this look similar in any way? All right. There's a similarity there, right? In truth, though, Mana is essentially 2x of Bitcoin right now. So we got to recognize as well that it's going to move up faster when Bitcoin moves up. But the thing to also understand, and what I like to look at, is overextension. In other words, you can kind of see here, without even using any indicators, that we are overextended to the upside. Okay, so we take a look at TD sequential, we're at a 9+4, in other words, or 9+1 rather, an extra 4-hour candlestick into this 36-hour continuation of the upside. How much higher can it go? We're probably reaching a standard deviation essentially on the volume weighted average price. So if we were to take a look at this, you can see we're well outside those standard deviation lines, specifically with this most recent candle, but we're testing that level consistently. So when it comes to standard deviation and being above 70 on the RSI on the 4-hour, that tells me that a short position would be more viable than a long position, because I'm not a fear of missing out kind of person. While it's all well and good that Bitcoin's doing well and Mana could very well continue, how much further is it going to continue without consolidation? Take a look at this. Price comes up to a 9 as we're seeing right now, and it came down, again, not significantly. It created higher lows, which is perfectly fine. So it wouldn't be terrible for Mana to come back down and consolidate at 94 cents, would it? Or perhaps even lower, as long as the next low isn't lower than the most recent. We should be good. All right, so higher lows I think are very important when you're defining a continuation to the upside. So, in essence, we're not looking in dire straits. We're not in bad shape at all. This is definitely good. I'm not saying the price is just going to drop and plunge from here, but in all reality, we're overextended on 2 of the 3 indicators that I like to value on, the actual 4-hour time frame. Okay. Furthermore, as well, did we look at this? I don't think we did. We're above all key level resistances on the moving averages, so that's also positive too. There's a lot of good stuff here in this sense. So again, I'm not saying that Mana is going to just sell off and continue to drop from here, but it does look like this push, this continuation of the upside needs to come to a head soon, or it's going to become extremely overextended, and it's going to come down a lot faster. So just say, for example, Mana decides it wants to continue up to retest this level in the next 24 hours. The likelihood of the price action coming down from there is higher because it's parabolically increasing. It's not comfortable. This increase to me isn't fantastic because it doesn't have a nice healthy continuation pattern. Instead, it's kind of up, over, and just straight up, right? So again, the only consolidation we had was this one little candlestick here, and the rest has been consistently increasing. So adding all that together, for lack of better terms, the 4-hour looks overextended to me, and that'll translate into likely a few more red candles and essentially give us that natural correction that should happen. Most corrections occur at resistance levels or previous resistances, which is the new support at 94 cents. So the new likely bottom would be 94. In fact, you can see that the price action continued to retest this level for an ascending type of trend before it broke to the upside. Okay, so it's really common for that to happen. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at there. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at TD sequential here on the hourly. We're at a 6. We recently hit a 9, and we hit a 9 previously. So this is essentially 3 9s in a row once we hit another 9. Okay. Anytime you see more than 2 9s on the hourly, it's usually cause for concern, and the price will likely not continue much higher. We saw this spike here, of course, because Bitcoin did well, dollar index is down, and NASDAQ and traditional markets are up. So, of course, Bitcoin is going to follow suit, and so will Mana as well. But in that sense, bottom line here is we're at a 6 right now. So we have a potential of 3 more hours of continuation to the upside, followed by a likely decrease in value to down to about 94 cents, or at the worst case scenario, somewhere in the range of 92. And obviously, if it comes down even lower than that, then we have to have another conversation because we're effectively creating lower lows at that point. That's disadvantageous. We don't want that. We want this trend to continue. Okay, so again, there's that. And then the last thing to touch on here is just the volume weight average price. You can probably see it a little easier on the 15, where we are well outside the standard deviation here, and that is disadvantageous. You always want to be below the upper lead and obviously above the volume weight average price itself. What this is doing is just taking the volume of the last 24 hours, expressing it as a price. And right now, the price should be at 95 cents, whereas it's upwards of 98, testing that level. Again, typically not positive in the sense of overall continuation to that direction. All right, the same thing happens with the inverse as well. You come back down. So again, those are just things I like to look at. Mana does appear to be overextended, but just once again, based on previous resistances, we should see 94 cents work as a support level. So my speculation here is that we're going to see Mana retrace to 94 cents and likely use that as the foundation, the base, for its next increase to try to retest the levels of either 103 or 110. Those are likely continuation options here for Mana. So again, mostly good stuff here in that sense. We could also go with a potential prediction here in the sense of just kind of seeing what the yesterday's candlestick close, kind of going from there. We can see it's working its way up these patterns, but once again, 110 is the highest point, which we'll see. So if we do have a continuation and the price doesn't retrace as much as we'd like, in other words, we have 4 more days of continuation to the upside, I would say 110 would be the likely resistance level there, and we'll probably see some consolidation efforts there. Between now and then, of course, once again, 103 and obviously 94 cents are likely probabilities. So again, just something to kind of think about. Throwing it out there, the more information you can use to extract and come to a decision, the better, right? That's really all we're doing here. As traders, we're just kind of getting information and kind of trying to figure out which direction it's going to head. To me, it seems more likely to have a slight retracement before we have the next increase, because we are, again, a bit on the overextended side. So just bear that in mind. I really hope it continues, though. Honestly, it doesn't. It's no skin off my back, but I can tell you that it doesn't really look like it wants to go much further at this exact moment. We'll take another look at this here again soon, obviously see what's going on, but thanks so much for joining me. Hope you learned something here today. If you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link in the description below. Do look forward to working with you, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. See you soon.